Hey guys, welcome to PCube, where we watch and talk about music as classical musicians. Today's song is a request from one of our supporters on Buy Me a Coffee. This song is from David P. So thank you, David, for your song suggestion and for your support. This is a band that we've never done on this channel. It's Bruce Hornsby, if I'm saying it right, and The Range. The song is The Way It Is. And he sent us a link for this beautiful video. I'm guessing it's beautiful based on the thumbnail. But we love his selection. Actually, he is one of our continuous supporters on this channel, and that's why our expectation is really high. It's a lot of pressure, but I am positive that it's going to be really good. I've never heard the name of the band, Bruce Hornsby, and The Range. I think is his, and then the name of the band. But I'm curious to find out what it's about and what's this band all about. So since we don't know anything about it, I would say let's just go ahead and start listening.
They can't buy a job. Man in a silk suit hurries by as he catches the poor old lady's eyes. Just for fun, he says, get a job.
I think that's the first verse. So let's just wait here because I want to talk just a little bit about the intro. Yeah, the piano intro actually caught me a little bit off guard. I love that 20-30 seconds that he was just kind of I don't think it was improvised, but it kind of had the feel of making it on the spot. But then I love that when the other band members started, he kind of went on with the same theme, but it's still so lush. It didn't lose any of there were so many voices moving around together. I don't know, 3 voices in the left hand and 3 voices in the right hand. It was so lush is the best word that I can describe that. Even though the melody was very not so complex, I feel and then a lot of sequences, having a melody or a motif, and then bringing it a step down or up. And it was mostly also a stepwise melody notes. So even though the structure would have been simple, but it's so effective. So here we go. Let's go ahead from when they start singing a little bit, so we don't lose the lyric part of it, so we can see what it's all about.
Standing in line, marking time, waiting for the welfare dime. 'Cause they can't buy a job. Hurries by as he catches the poor old lady's eyes. Just for fun, he says, get a job. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Ah, but don't you believe them? You can't go where the others go. You don't look like they do. Said, hey old man, how can you stand to think that way? Did you really think about it before you made the rules? He said so. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Oh, but don't you believe them? Yeah.
loved his piano playing. I feel like he is also this, at least the piano song or the composer of that. I don't know if he wrote the whole song or not. I think that's Bruce Hornsby, right? I feel like he must be it, right? Because I feel like he's the main star. But I love that how creative he is with just this. If it all comes from the same harmony progression and almost the same motif, but he's being very creative in the most like very like I don't know, simple, not in a negative way though, because if you like look at the piano, it's just like the left hand was repeating some notes and the right hand was basically just a harmony, and then sometimes he would arpeggio it. But I think the way the rhythm would work on top of the other instruments and the way that he would phrase them would give it such a like a momentum that is going forward. It was very creative to listen to. I love his kind of like posture on the piano. Is a little odd for me.
Yeah.
It's like his wrists are like
I was
high.
thinking, exactly. I was thinking, what would you think about his, because he was playing some notes with like this one hand and like whoop whoop like that. I was like, is she seeing that? What
Yeah.
is she's
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
he was very comfortable at the piano. I guess it was not no struggle at all, but just like the posture of his hands were kind of like a little throwing me off, because like it's usually like the wrist, like at least like the way I was taught, the wrist and then the other rest of your hands is usually in one line, because that is creating like tension. But I feel like the way that he was doing it was very comfortable, actually, no tension at all, and then he was playing it so perfectly. So I don't know, maybe it's a different school of training piano that he learned or self-taught, or but whatever it is, the results are so beautiful. And I would say the piano playing, or just the arrangement of the song being so like traditionally beautiful, so like I don't know, like super, I guess, beautiful in its very like very own way, and then compared that to the lyrics that were kind of like more serious. But it's very interesting because like if you get a chance to kind of like listen to a few verses, and I still have to listen to more of it, but obviously it's talking about so many things that are just like different, or the gaps between the people, like I guess financially, or like poor and rich, I guess, so far, and then all these like looking down like on people. So things like that are very serious, but at the same time the melody and the piano is just so beautiful. So it's just like an interesting contrast there.
Yeah, and I have to say that the main theme that they started the intro with and also repeated during the song is so beautiful and so memorable in a very simple way, because it's just three, I mean, it's more notes, but the starting of it, they are just three stepwise notes, and like with the second interval. And it also reminds me of a intro of a Persian song, an old Persian song, the first exactly three notes. And I'm thinking that this idea of just playing three notes after each other, like with the second interval, and just make it into a beautiful thing, and just not use a very complicated thing to make it to make a memorable thing, is some an idea that comes to the mind of so many great musicians. You can see we reacted even to so many of the very great musics that they were like a very big deal in the music like world, and their main theme that everybody knows is just so simple, and it's just like 2-3 notes with a very simple interval, nothing very complicated. But the way that they build it and the way that they present it, it's just that's the thing that makes it really great and stick the reason that it sticks to your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, let's go listen to the remaining part. Maybe we pick up more on the lyrics as well.
Well, they passed a law in '64 to give those who ain't got a little more, but it only goes so far. There's a law don't change and just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Wow. I
Yes.
have a little better idea of the lyrics now, but I also love that there is so much piano on it. But also, like toward the end of its solo, I'm sure you also picked it up that there was like some hints of jazz. I don't know if you
Yes,
felt it, like the
exactly.
solo, and then we just listened to another jazz song, Take Five, but it just like happened to be back to back here. But I love that it's just like a little bit of inspiration from jazz, especially at the end. But that was very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I was because it came into my mind from the beginning that they started, and I was like, that's a little, it's giving me a little bit like not really, but a little like the vibes of the jazz. And then suddenly, when the first time I think the guitar came, and it came with a very weird, I don't know, a kind of sound color that it didn't repeat it at all during the song. It was just in the intro. I was like, oh, okay, now we are not in the jazz mood anymore. It was like kind of a different mood before, exactly until before that the guitar started. But then I was like, no, maybe I was just illusional and it's not like jazzy vibes. But then the solo came and I was like, huh. So maybe, yeah, it was maybe on purpose, and he
Yeah.
was also like
Yeah,
yeah,
he
I
kind
like
of
to
like
have this
elaborated
kind of
on
mood.
that. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. And I think, let me just double check something before just saying it worship, because I think it was talking about the civil rights movement, because he talked about a law like passed in 64. I'm gonna check that. Okay, 64, yeah, that's right. So I feel like it was more about the racial gaps rather than financial, or maybe both, because I love that he was talking about like such serious issue and such, like, I guess it was like a very like long, like an issue that has been like long in the history of the US. Obviously is talking about right now, but this is something that, like, I guess like all nations deal with. But it was very like simple words, but at the same time so effective. It was not using a lot of complexity in the lyrics, but also in the music. It was simple, at the same time beautiful, but also thought-provoking, because like it felt so personal. It didn't come from like a preaching kind of way, or like the narrative or the story or the way that the verses were kind of being sang or being like said. It felt really personal and coming from like very touching. I feel like one of the reasons was like each of the verses were coming from like a very like relatable and real like point of view, like the conversations that like those two parts of the story were like having, were just so like just in real life you could hear those things. And at the end he had the conclusion of like that's just the way it is, but it shouldn't be, obviously. But even with the law being passed, people cannot change their minds that easily. So that was very, I would say, very, very touching. I love the lyrics, and I love that like such simple words and such simple-ish melody, because like I know the melody was kind of simple and the harmony, but the way that it was arranged was not that simple, because we heard a lot of like creativity and especially the piano solo. So I don't want to label it as like a simple thing, but it was very catchy, like memorable. But it's not something that was like, oh, I have to like, it's just very, very memorable. You can easily remember that, and it's very attractive and charming to listen to, and then at the same time the lyrics being so meaningful. So that was actually a very pleasant. So I was not expecting that such a deep song, honestly. So I am very pleased with this song.
And I have to say that in the whole song you could really see how creative the pianist is, and how like really interesting solo parts, or like really dominant piano part that is really like it's not just for playing just some chords to just be one of the other instruments that are, you know, making an environment so that the singer comes, but it was really dominant and as much important as the singing part. But also it didn't felt like I don't know, a piano dominant and like song, or like it wasn't like really in your face that okay, all these piano solos and like really like flashy piano solos, and it's separated from the rest of the song or something. And I think that was the reason for that, was that it was some elements that was repeating itself, so that the whole song wasn't like, it was like a whole, and it was like a continuous chain, and it wasn't like okay, this part, the piano solo part is separate and then this is separate. The elements that was repeating was the motif and the themes of the main thing, the three notes, the motif that I told that I talked about, and also this da-da-dan, 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 that was repeating a lot from the piano and also another instruments during the whole song. And also it was coming from the harmony that was like the series of the harmonies that they were using was so much repeating itself. So it was in the whole structure was repeating itself and was completely like a structured thing. And then during this structure there was like the piano solo and the whole like jazzy, sometimes jazzy vibe or something. That's why you couldn't it wasn't like nothing was like in your face, you know. Nothing was like a high part or a low part or like this. Everything was in a very continuous and in a very clear way, but it was so many things were happening during this time.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that was so interesting. Honestly, I loved that. I don't know if like having that piano is like this band's signature, or is just this song, but that's something that we can figure out if we ever listen to any of their other song. But that was such a cool song. So thank you, David, for your song suggestion again. And we hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you want to support us more, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next video. Bye!
Bye!